slow. I think we should start because people will want to go to their dinner afterwards, and we don't want to delay their pleasure. So we should start with the General Assembly. I need the secretaries to come up. Oana and Ipshita, can you come up, please? You don't need to come back. Oh, okay, okay. So where is it? It's here. Oops, this one. It's live. Except. Okay, so there will be. So I don't know if somebody can connect, because I need my computer because I've got my notes there. If there's comments in the chat, that are the way that people can ask questions. So I need somebody to be online to watch this, to watch us, and check the chat if there are questions. So thank you. All right, it sounds like we are now finally ready. Okay, so I would like, first of all, as part of this General Assembly of the ICLA, to start by thanking the organizers of the Congress and all those institutions and colleagues that have supported it. Professor Young-Il Jung, President of East West, Professor Jae Wong-yoon, and I apologize for my pronunciation of Korean, President of Dongguk University, very generous hosts, the Ministry of Culture, Sport and Tourism, and last, by no means least, our indefatigable, heroic colleague, Young-Min Kim, who I don't think slept more than 10 minutes in the last 3 or 4 months, and who has been laboring and slaving under really difficult circumstances for all sorts of reasons, so we owe him gratitude. I would also, since I'm speaking about the work that has been done for this Congress, for which we are immensely grateful, I would also like to acknowledge that some things have not gone exactly to plan. Things have been not quite perfect. They have not been easy for some of the participants and for the organizers either, so we would like to acknowledge those difficulties. I would also like to say 2 more things, and one is that some of you that may be here in the room or watching us online wrote to us, to the ICLA, to ask questions about your papers, the scheduling, the registration, and we couldn't answer those. And I'm sorry that we could not, but I wanted to explain that the Congress is of the ICLA, but it's not the ICLA that organizes it in practical terms. There's a bid to organize it, there's a choice, and then the ICLA has a program committee that advises, especially about the program, and advises and supports, but the practical organization is not something that we have, and we do not have access to the database of applications, to the submissions, the timetable. So I'm sorry that we couldn't always help you. We always relayed the questions to the Congress organizers, but if we frustrated you by not answering, I'm sorry about that. It's just the way that things are set up. We cannot do that. But the second thing that I would like to say is that we learn from things that don't always go perfectly. And we have tightened the advice, the guidelines, the support for future organizers, and we'll carry on monitoring and adjusting that advice and that support. So we will, as I said, learn from things that haven't gone perfectly. But having said that, I see a lot of people talking to each other, smiling, enjoying the papers, and talking about how good some of the paper sessions they've had, the plenary sessions, and what makes a Congress is the participation of the people that are there. And I have been so exhilarated by some of the things I've heard, and so impressed by some some of the papers I've heard and the conversations, and that is all extremely positive. And I've talked so much that my voice is going. Only one more day to go and then my voice can rest. Okay, let me take the time, however, that we have today, because this is the General Assembly of the ICLA, and we need to do this, to summarize quickly what the ICLA has achieved over the last 3 years, what work is still in progress, and then I will ask some of my colleagues to talk about their different areas of responsibility, the things they look after. Now, you've heard many times already that this is the 70th anniversary of the ICLA, since the foundation of the ICLA. And much of or many rather, of the structures and operations needed to be modernized. In the last few years, we tried to bring the ICLA from the 1950s into the 21st century. And we have been working on that occasionally with some delays for all sorts of technical and bureaucratic reasons. We're based in France, and some of the French requirements have on occasion been Kafkian, but we're getting there. We couldn't access a bank account for nearly 18 months, so some things were delayed, but we are moving forward quite at a very good pace now. And we are close to launching a new website that will be more modern and responsive than the current one. It will also have some interactive space for member associations to manage their own section of the different associations, but also for individual members who wish to submit items for the newsletter, advertise an event, there will be some possibility of doing that. We're also getting close to having a brand new email system for you to email us. The current one we have is okay, it's a bit clunky, and in terms of look as well, it's not perfect, but we are moving forward towards better, if you like, communication systems with the membership, both through associations and individuals. Electronic elections are now a given, and this is leading to an updating of our procedures and statutes that needed to be amended in order to reflect the fact that elections now do not happen in person at the Congress. They happen for the previous 3 weeks and finished during the Congress. So the ballot paper asked you for approval of some of these changes, and we will hear an announcement on the results shortly. We will also hear shortly about early career researchers, and the most heartening thing perhaps for me has been, and for all of us, has been the growth of interest from ECR's early career researchers in ICLA activities, when only a few years ago, I remember discussions at the Executive Council meetings where we were worried about the fact that students, early career researchers didn't seem to know about our existence, didn't know what we stood for, they were not getting involved, and now, not only there has been a huge surge of interest in our next-gen sessions, next-generation sessions, in the applications for participation grants, but also the number of student members has kind of ballooned. We have nearly 5,000 members, and 30% of those are students. So this is immensely encouraging for us because it means there's a future in the association. Future generations are already part of it. Future generations of scholars that have already been born. They're not like, registered by their parents before they're born. We have started also a strand of our work that had fallen a little bit dormant or behind, and a strand to support and seek collaborations with our member associations, so the national or regional associations that are already members of the ICLA, to increase the collaboration with them, between the ICLA and them, and between the associations, but also to support groups of scholars that may not have a national association to rely on, whether they're based within a country or work in a certain area of interest, so that we can use our website and our structures in order to support and make visible those groups of colleagues, of scholars that work together and at the moment do not have their own the infrastructure to support them. So this is all ongoing work, and I would like to thank Toshiko Ellis and Hon Sosi, who have been leading this work. And I would also like to welcome the Lithuanian Comparative Literature Association as our newest member association. So we were very pleased when they joined us just a few months ago. I would also like to thank the Research Development Committee, and in particular its chair, Matthew Reynolds, for the development of our research committees, of which there are now 14. And I'm not going to list them all because time is limited, but you can go on the ICLA website, you'll find them, you can find out more about their activities, and shortly when the new website is launched, it will also have some more information or be more consistent across the board, the type of information that is published. But they are all very active, and I would invite you to get involved. The only one that I will mention is the one that is not active. The Comparative African Literature has been paused because both chairs had to step down for different reasons, personal reasons, so it hasn't been very active, and we will invite expressions of interest to get involved, to lead it very soon through the newsletter, through the website. So if you have an interest in this area of study, comparative African literatures, you can already signal it to us, get in touch, or keep an eye on the newsletter and the website, because there will be a call for interest soon. Some of you attended on Tuesday the session that we had jointly with the UNESCO Memory of the World program to collaborate with this program of UNESCO on matters of translation, on documentary heritage, on lost libraries, issues around memory, and in this case too, we would like members to get involved with this work. So we shall publish the text of the agreement that we signed in a few days, and we'll invite people to make suggestions of possible strands of collaboration of work within these fields, or join already existing strands of work. And the other thing I wanted to mention in terms of the research committees and the research work of the association, look out for the announcement which will be made soon of the ICLA annual lecture that will start from this year, 2025. At least I'm crossing my fingers as I say that, because that was the decision that we took, and now we need to confirm with the speaker that they can speak within this year. And I would also like to mention the journal, Recherche Littéraire, Literary Research, which is receiving plaudits from many sides, and we have a new editor, Alice Duhan from the University of Gothenburg, while the outgoing editor, Marc Moffort, who's sitting at the front there, will continue to support her. So she is becoming our new chief editor, but Marc will co-edit the next issue with her and support her so that there's a smooth transition. And I would like to thank Marc Moffort very much indeed for having transformed the journal into an extremely sleek and professional publication from a newsletter of book reviews that it was now. It's a proper research journal, as well as continuing the work to the community of reviewing relevant books in high number. So this is all wonderful, and the 10 years that Marc has led the journal have been transformative for it. So thank you very much. And I would like also to thank all the members of the Executive Council, including all the officers and the chairs of all the committees, both research and advisory. Everyone has been doing this work for the ICLA in addition to their day job of teaching, doing research, administration of their departments, of their research groups, doing their research. So all the work done for the ICLA is done on a voluntary basis. So I would like to thank them from the bottom of my heart for their immense dedication. And I would also like to thank our administrator, Anka Michalache, who's sitting there, who's the one who sends you all those messages, answers you when you write emails, sends out the newsletter, and whose appointment at the end of 2023 has enabled us to become a lot more effective and to carry on with the work, because she was taking care of all that quite demanding work. So thank you very much, Anka. I think she's given me about 10 years extra of my life, so I thank you very much. So I've just mentioned the newsletter that Anka sends. Please read it when you get it, because it's full of information about events, but also funding opportunities, possibilities for research collaborations, and so on. And please do get in touch with us when you have suggestions, something to advertise to all the other members, whether it's a conference or a book or a research project. Search for co-researchers. Let us know. We will put it in the newsletter. And if you read the newsletter, then you will find this information from others as well. And if you have other suggestions for things that the ICLA should be doing that we're not doing yet, or maybe you don't know whether we are planning that, do get in touch with us also with ideas, suggestions for developing activities, for improving what we're already doing, because we would be very grateful to hear from you about that. I will stop here. And I would like to invite various colleagues to speak about their different areas of responsibility, the things they've been looking after. So there is an agenda that you can see on the screen, and we start with the financial situation of the ICLA. Eureka, would you want to do it from there, or you're coming here?
I could do it.
Okay.
So, yeah. Hello, I'm Yuriko Yamanaka. I am the treasurer for the Asia Pacific division of the ICLA, but I'm reporting on behalf of the treasurer of the Americas, Adelaide Russo, and also for Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, Alejandra, where is she? Somewhere.
There.
Yeah. So if I get something wrong, please correct me, Adelaide and Alejandra. So for the Americas, as of July 23rd, there is $55,141.75 in the account in the Americas. And the main expense for the past year was the first book prize for Isabel Gomez, $1,500. And the money we paid to Peter Lang to publish the Recherche littéraire, which is $6,000. So that goes out from the Americas account. From Europe, Africa, and Middle East, as of July 1st, the amount, they have an account in euro, but kind of converted into dollars, it's about $33,519 altogether, combining the savings and the normal account. The main expenses, is for our lovely administrator, Anka Michalash, who, as you said, is working tirelessly to keep everything peachy. So that is 10,000 euros. There was 1,000 euros that went to the Graphic Narratives Research Committee to do their symposiums and their website. 2,000 went to the new website, I suppose, 2,000 euros. And then there was a 700 euros that went to the domain, I guess, of the website. So another 700 for website business. 444 that went to the mailer light, which is the mailing list system. And 120 that went to FILM, FILLM, which is the Fondation Internationale des Langues et Littératures Modernes, because we are a member association of the FILM, so it's a subscription, I guess. So 120 euros went to that, and 100 euros to the editor of the Recherche littéraire for their editorial work, and so that is for the expenses, the main expenses for the Europe account. There are accounts in yen and in dollars in Japan for the Asia Pacific section. The overall balance as of June 13th was $102,807.53 in US dollars, but it's of course it's partly in yen, so it was converted. It might be a little bit less now because the yen is so weak, but it has a pretty healthy standing. The main expenses for this last year was the 2 first book awards that went to. You will probably report about it afterwards. So we gave 2 first book awards this year, so 1,500 times 2, so $3,000 that went to the first book award. So that was as of June 13th, but there are expected expenses for the Balakian Prize, which is $1,000 plus travel fees. Also for about approximately $4,000 to the voting system, Me Voice, for you to vote electronically. About $5,000 will have to go to do the new website. Yeah, and also we have a tax accountant now to keep the books straight, and that is $2,000. That will be about $2,000, and the participation grant for this Congress, which was, I think, maybe adding. I forgot how much of it was donation and how much was it was. But it was Juana will report about it afterwards. So yeah, there was participation grant will be going. We have a very generous donation from Lucia, our outgoing president, of about 5,000 euros, and thank you very much for this generous contribution. Besides the National Association memberships and the individual memberships, and that will be coming in, and that's the general. The detailed numbers are in the executive committee report, but that's just the overall report. So. Did I give the total amount in dollars?
No.
I didn't know.
No.
I was going to add up all the accounts and I forgot, but it's...
When I looked at it, when we had executive meeting, I think it was $178,000 or $180,000.
Something like that,
yeah. All the, with some expenses waiting to go out.
Something
but thereabout,
yeah.
Or the 3...
3 accounts combined, 3 sections
together,
combined.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So your report, you mentioned the recent expenditure, the main ones in the last year. Overall, I think our biggest expenses are the cost of the administrator who we need, the cost for the journal, and the cost, the subventions for the books, so Balakian, so prizes and subventions for books, and the other prizes, and for the Congress, the ICLA at the beginning gives $10,000 so that the Congress work can start. And this would have happened some years ago, so you didn't mention it because it goes back.
The
it's one of the other
$10,000 was
items of
transferred, I think,
expenditure that will happen soon
the
for
year
the next
before.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the next item on the is early career scholars. Emmanuel. Or Anna, whoever
we can
wants to go
start
first.
with Oana Fotake.
Yeah. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Oana Fotake. For the past 3 years, I've been chairing the Participation Grants Committee, together in which the members were Emmanuel Dos Santos, Adelaide Russo, and Sayantan Dasgupta. Following last year's Executive Council meeting in Delhi, we were able to increase the budget allocated to the participation grants to $3,000, and following a generous donation to $1,000 more. So we had a total of $4,000. And we issued a call for applications, we established a calendar, and we were very happy due to the advertising of the calendar and the call for applications to receive 348 applications from all over the globe, literally from every continent, and representing 34 countries, maybe, of course not equally, most of them from China, India, United States, UK, and many other countries. Many of them international scholars, I have to add that, and we were thus able to award 15 participation grants in the form of registration fee waivers, accommodation grants, and transportation grants, which we distributed over the past 4 days here at the Congress. Also, at the initiative of our president, Professor Boldrini, we will start, the next Participation Grants Committee will start a scheme of matching grants, 10 grants to be dispersed annually of $250 each, to be matched by an equal sum from the National Association. These are dedicated to early career scholars as well, who are willing to organize a scientific event in their country and need this kind of support. Again, there will be a call for applications, and the next round is this fall in October. Hopefully, our work will be continued and will attract more interest, even more interest, and we hope to receive more donations and be able to increase our budget. Because these grants are particularly destined to PhD students, early career, non-tenure scholars, and also other scholars who come from countries which are less privileged in terms of funding. Thank you so much, and I'm going to pass this to Emmanuel for other reports on early career support from the ICLA.
Thank you, Anna. So, yes, my name is Emanuele Santos, and I'm the chair of eCare. So, as I hope that you all know by heart at this point, eCare is not the only way in which the association reaches out to early career researchers, as we have the Participation Committee and the Balakian Prize, of course. But in addition to those, eCare processes 3 early career prizes, and I'm going to give you the status of each one of these prizes. So as our treasurer was saying to you, this year we paid for the awards of 2023 and 2024. Those, they were subjected to a delay in their payment, and that's why they were paid in this academic year or this year. When it comes to the First Book Subvention Prize edition 2025, so this is an annual prize, and we really aim at advertise, receive the applications, and process the applications within the calendar year. But sometimes it's not possible because, of course, we need peer reviews, and sometimes the process can be delayed. So, as it is this year, the deadline for submission of the first subvention prize applications was the 31st of May, and we're still processing those applications. So when it comes to the 2025 award for this prize, we aim to award it within this calendar year, right? And we also aim at, as soon as we award, to then open a new wave of submissions, so then we can award the 2026 edition of this prize within the 2026 calendar year. Now, the next prize I'd like to tell you about is the Best Translation Prize. This prize is not an annual prize, but it only runs in years where we have the ICLA Congress. This year, we had no submissions for this prize. The submission closed, I think, first at the end of April, then we extended it for another month, but we had no submissions for this prize. Remembering you and reminding you that for this prize you can submit your own translations, or you can indicate, you can nominate somebody's translations to be awarded and to be assessed, to be awarded. We will open again in 2027 with the view to process the entirety, to open the applications, receive the applications, have them peer reviewed, and have the name of the winner to be announced during the 2028 Congress. Okay. Now, the Best Graduate Paper Prize I will announce shortly as soon as I finish these communications, as it's the next item on the agenda. But when it comes to, now I want to talk to you about the future work. So I take that the years of Congress, they're real milestone years, and looking forward to have completed the kind of projects we want, eCare wants to have completed by 2028. They are basically two. One is to start a new ICLA early career mentoring scheme. Now, mentoring schemes are a bit complex to put together because we have to really try to do them in an equitable and manageable manner, as it's always important to emphasize everyone that participates in the committee and everyone that takes any appointments in the ICLA, they volunteer their time. So it's really important to take that into consideration. So this is one of the things that we would like to have done by 2028, to start a new ICLA early career mentoring scheme, and to also plan for an online early career capacitation event to take place between conferences. So Sandy has run one of those capacitation online events, which I would say was pioneer in 2021. And the idea was that between the 3 years of congresses, we always try to run one. So now that the prizes have been established and we're processing them effectively, the idea is to invest in running those effectively as well. These are the communications that I have for the eCare. I would just like to finish with two appeals. It's appeal. The first appeal is, of course, read the newsletter. And it's really important because the opportunities that we have here for early careers, they are advertised again and again through our newsletter. If you are no longer an early career yourself, send that, disseminate that information, not only with your own students, but within your departments, within all the other networks that you're part of. To become an early career member of the association, you do not have to pay dues, so a person can become a member and then be part, then take advantage of these opportunities. Second thing is, of course, help us disseminate the work that we do together with your national associations. We do have, of course, very good and wonderful relations with the national associations, but sometimes the conversations are a bit clunky, so it's really important that that you help disseminate. Okay? Now, Lucia, can I move to the next item of the agenda, the announcement of the winner of the Best Graduate Paper? Yeah. So, item 4. The Best Graduate Paper Prize announcement. So this is a prize that people who present their papers under the next gen stream of our conference, they can be voted on and awarded this prize. The best graduate paper prize includes a prize of $250 and the invitation to publish a written version of their paper presentation in the association journal Recherche Littéraire, Literary Research. This is the first time that we are awarding this prize, and I am delighted to report that we had a tie. So the prize of $250 will be shared by two winners, with each receiving $125 and an invitation to publish the content of their talk in the journal of the association. And the winners are... Felicia Cucuta from Harvard University, who presented the paper titled Care and Kinship, Staging the Modern Human in Canadian and Greenlandic Theatre. And the second winner, yes? And the second winner is, and I'm saying second just because they're the second in the list. They are a tie, they are equally the first, is Song Huang from the University of Virginia, who presented the paper titled From Xinjiang to the Global Stage, Reimagining Chuanyue Time Travel as a Bridge Between Cultures, Genres, and Times. Congratulations on the award. I do not know if you're both here. Are you here? Yes? And I will be in touch with you to process your award. Many congratulations.
Okay. So now we have the announcement of the next Congress in 2028, and we were hoping that one of the secretaries who had to travel back to France would make that announcement. She's unable to do that live, so Ipshita, do you want to? I'll do it. Okay, so we had a number of really strong proposals, some not quite as strong, and 3 went to the Executive Council for selection. They were all amazingly professional, they were all very detailed, and it was a really difficult choice, but the one that was selected was the proposal that we received from the University of Glasgow. So in 2028, we will meet again in Glasgow. That's it. Thank you to all the other proposals that we had from the University of Birmingham, from the University of Rome, and congratulations to the colleagues in Glasgow. Now we move to the results of the elections. And for this, before Lideke Platte, Chair of the Elections Committee, makes the announcement, I need help with the computer here because I need to change the document because we decided to present it in a different order, so I need to take that out and put this in. And can you take that so that they don't see what we see yet? Because we need to do so. I don't want it to be visible yet. Yes, that's right. Is she open? Will they see it? They want them to see it well. Okay, so I'm going to start from the bottom. Okay, you can go. You want to do it from here?
My name is Liedeke Platen. I'm chair of the elections committee, and I have several items on the agenda that has disappeared from the screen. I start with giving information about the ratification of chairs. So first of all, we have Professor Florian Moestnoek, who has been voted in, ratified as chair of SCHLEL, that is the Coordinating Committee for the Comparative History of Literature in European Languages series. So congratulations to Florian. The second chair that has been ratified is Professor E.V. Ramakrishnan, chair of the ICLA Standing Research Committee on South Asian Literatures and Cultures. Congratulations, E.V. Third chair is Professor Stefan Buchenberger, chair of the Standing Committee on Comics Studies and Graphic Narrative. The next one is Professor Tegan Zimmerman, chair of the Standing Research Committee on Comparative Gender Studies. Professor Hoon Sosi, chair of the Research Committee on the Comparative History of East Asian Literatures. Professor Anne Duprat, chair of the Standing Research Committee on Literary Theory. Professor Chenzu He, chair of the Standing Committee on Scriptural Reasoning and Comparative Studies. Professor Young-Min Kim, chair of the Standing Committee on Translation Studies. Professor Lobna Ismail, chair of the Standing Committee on Arabic Comparative Literature. And last but not least, Professor Kitty Millett, chair of the Standing Research Committee on Religion, Ethics and Literature. So all these chairs have been ratified by the General Assembly and by the entire membership. As a second point, I'm very happy to announce that the 4 amendments that have been proposed by the Executive Council have been approved. And I won't detail them here, but since they have all been approved, we can all be very happy about them and help us move into the 21st century because they are partly linked to changes in the voting system, meaning that nowadays we can vote electronically. And maybe I want to add also that 21%, a little bit over 21% of the entire membership has voted throughout all these points. The last item, maybe the most important one, are the elected officers. And I'll start with the names of the elected officers of the Executive Council. First of all, Megumi Arai. Secondly, I'll name them all and then we applaud for all of them. Is that an idea? Yeah. Then Alexander Beecroft, Raul Calzoni, Laura Cernat, Sung Won Cho, Adriana Krolla, Zhang Hui, Lobna Ismail, Maria Esther Maciel, Kitty Millett, Irma Ratiani, Matthew Reynolds, Godwin Siundu, Fatiha Taib, Clotilde Touret, Makoto Tokumori, Rita Wilson, and Ying Chong. Those are all the elected officers to the Executive Council. And I move to my next screens for the treasurers. We had 3 candidate treasurers and they have been elected. Yuriko Yamanaka, thank you very much again. Alexandra Lopez, thank you also again. And new one for Europe, thanking Adelaide Russo. We now have Gundula Hachman for the Americas. Thank you all 3 treasurers. Secretaries, we have 2 new secretaries. Zoe Schweitzer is one of them, and Oana Fotakci is the second. Vice Presidents, we have 4 new Vice Presidents for the next period. Anne Duprat, Noriko Hiraishi, Hoon Sosi, and Helga Mitterbauer. Congratulations to the Vice Presidents. And then for President, we have the one and only, Ipshita Chanda. Congratulations to everyone, and good luck with the next 3 years of the ICLA.
And I have the honor, in the name of the ICLA, to announce that Professor Lucia Boldrini is promoted to the status of honorary president of the ICLA, joining a distinguished company that includes Professor Sandra Berman, Professor Zhang Wengxi, and many others. Congratulations.
I have to hold the flowers because I'm not going to let anybody else take them from me. And but I think on the agenda, the next thing is AOB, any other business, and we didn't have any that was communicated to us, and questions. So we have a little bit of time, I think, for questions. If any has any, while I hold my flowers, we can try to answer them. Any questions from anyone? I think you want your dinner, and I want a drink at this point. So, are there any online? No? Okay, in that case, I would like to thank our hosts and the organizers of the Congress again. I would like to thank very warmly all my colleagues on the as from this moment, my ex-colleagues on the executive, although I'm an honorary member, but, and I would like to ask Ipshita, the new president, to kind of, this can be kind of symbolic passing of the baton.
The easiest and the simplest thing, of course, is to say thank you. And apart from the organizers, apart from Lucia, I would like to thank the General Assembly for being here, because a General Assembly attests to the being of the association itself. For an association, one needs those who are associated. And on behalf of the newly elected members of the Executive Committee, we thank you for your presence, reinforcing your willingness to participate in the strengthening and extension of what you have heard many times has endured for the last 70 years. As we know in practice, in our thinking and from our website, the ICLA facilitates inclusivity, dialogue, and exchange between people and cultures whose conversation and willing engagement with difference forms the rationale of comparative literature and is foundational today to the ethical and material well-being of not only a single national, intellectual, or cultural community, but the world itself. In the times of genocide and globalized impoverishment of humans and nature, our discipline, our association privileges inclusive pluralism over binaries and hierarchies. On the basis of our training in comparative literature, we are committed to listening with humility and openness to other voices, to others' voices. We thank you for your presence, and we invite your participation and cooperation in our journey ahead. Thank you.
Unless somebody thought of a question, this is it. Thank you very much.
This is it. There's a question. Yeah, I guess. How does it go?
Well,
Had to be pushed in.
I'm sorry, this is not a question. This is only a comment that I have been participating in the Congress of ICLA since the Congress in Paris, and I'm very proud of you. I was really, it was very important what I heard today, and I feel that you're growing up and you're advancing in a very important way. So I just wanted to thank you and to tell you that I'm really enjoying and that I feel very proud to be an ICLA member. Just that. Thank you.
Does anybody else want to say something nice?
No.
Okay, then go and walk out in the air, go and have a drink, go and have your dinner. Thank you very much. There's another day of Congress to go through, but we haven't finished yet.
Yeah, may I request the newly elected members of the Executive Council to please remain inside and not take advantage of the great outside freedom and air for just 5 minutes. Thank you.